Okay. I want to do a quick video on how chemo affected me this time. It has been a week since I had my first rounds of chemo, and it's it's been a journey. um, and I'm sure it's nothing compared to what it will be, but they give you steroids. Uh, so they give you steroids while you're there, anti-nausea steroids, all this kind of stuff while you're there through the IV. And they say, yeah, sometimes, it helps, whatever. But they're like, we give you these steroids for the first 3 days after your chemo treatments, and they'll make you feel amazing. Like you won't be nauseated. You'll have so much energy. Your appetite will be back. And so I'm like, okay, this is going to be an awesome weekend. I'm like super excited. So I was supposed to take those Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I take them. Nothing. Like, I feel exhausted. I feel like super tired, dizzy, not necessarily super nauseated, but just not feeling good. Really don't have appetite, don't want to eat, all that kind of stuff. So that was a little bit of a letdown. And maybe like once I really get into this, maybe they'll work and it'll be like amazing. But yeah, they didn't really do much for me. So that was kind of disappointing. But I don't know how much it was the chemo or how much it was pregnancy or how much it was just life kind of caught up to me this weekend. But it's been a rough week. And again, I know if you have been through chemo and you're watching this, you're probably like, oh, just wait, little girl. And I know it's probably nothing, but it was rough. I just super exhausted, super dizzy. And I wasn't really expecting that. I didn't they had said that you could be dizzy. And then again, what's pregnancy? What's chemo? I am in my second trimester and they say that sometimes you get dizzy. But this has been a lot. And just the fatigue has been phenomenal. And it hit, like for me, it's not all day. It's not, I'm tired all day. Like I'm definitely tired, but it hits. And when it hits, I go down. So it's been a struggle this week, just trying to figure all that out. And I don't know for anyone who's watching this, who's about to start chemo, like, and not complaining at all, but just learning. We had so many people, okay, we have to have someone take her to chemo, from chemo, watch Grayson, get meals while she's in chemo. And then it's like the week after, you just kind of are supposed to live your life. And that's when it really hits. When, the fatigue, the nausea, the dizziness, the crap, I can't take care of my son because I can barely like move. So thankfully people pulled together and I have had someone here pretty much every day. And that has been such a blessing because I don't think I would have been able to do it by myself. So just know that it's not just the chemo days that you need help, it's the days after, especially probably the week after, maybe the week and a half after, that you are going to need some help. And if you don't have a toddler or whatever he is, an infant, a 10-month-old, then it's a big difference. But the fact that he is here and he depends on me for pretty much everything like that, that's a lot to have to deal with. So, yeah, didn't really have much of an appetite and, but still have to eat because I'm pregnant and you need to eat. That those first few days, even I think last night was the first night I probably didn't fall asleep by like 8 o'clock. And just pure exhaustion. I woke up and slept every night, probably with headaches. I would wake up in the middle of the night and have headaches, and I would wake up in the morning with headaches. I don't know if that is a typical whatever, but symptom, but I've had a lot of headaches, a lot of dizziness, a lot of fatigue. Nausea, not super bad, but just no appetite, and nothing sounds good. They do say like the more you get into it, that stuff starts to taste different. And I've noticed that it's already starting. Just a couple things. I'm like, that just doesn't taste right. And it's really annoying. Like, whatever. I feel like I have pretty good breath. Like, I don't drink a lot of sugary stuff. I don't drink sugar stuff or have sugar, and like, just some people have kind of bad breath. I feel like mine's pretty good. But since I've started this, I feel like my mouth just tastes different, just kind of tastes gross. And they say you get like a metallic taste in your mouth. And I don't know if that's just what this is and if it'll just get worse, but it's just like just a bad taste in your mouth all the time. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, so some foods have already started to turn a little bit. I was talking to a girl last night who went through chemo, and she said like everything started to taste bad, and she basically lived on Sprite, applesauce, and fresh apples because that's the only thing that would taste good. So hopefully we'll be okay. But yeah, just the taste thing. Yeah. So it's been a week. I feel like I'm starting to come out of it. I'm getting some energy back. Not as dizzy. On Wednesday, I had what I think the ophthalmologist before had called optic migraine. I've had them twice before, and both times were in very like stressful situations. Maybe one time before my wedding, I can't remember, but definitely one time before I had shoulder surgery because I'm like a planner and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get everything ready. I have to make meals. I have to make sure everything's done. I have to make sure like blah, 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 blah. And I just stress myself out. So I didn't really have time to stress myself out with this whole situation because it just happened so quickly. But like, I think obviously I'm stressed. So, I was taking care of Grayson on Wednesday, and like it started kind of small, just like a little like golf ball size in my vision of my left eye. Just kind of like it looks like a kaleidoscope. And I was like, oh, this isn't good. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until basically like my whole left side of my vision, I couldn't see anything. And it's just like this big kaleidoscope, and you look and it's just like, woo. So thankfully it was almost nap time for Grayson. I got him down and then I could rest, and it went away pretty quickly. But that was one thing that I wasn't really expecting to happen. So hopefully that won't happen anymore, and I can just not be stressed and just relax and control that. So that was something that happened this week. I don't know if you watched the other video, but I dislocated my shoulder. So that was fun because I finally was like starting to heal from the port and be able to pick up Grayson. And then I dislocated my other shoulder. So I couldn't pick him up for a few days. So that's been fun. But yeah. So overall, I feel like this round wasn't super horrible. Round one. We'll see what the rest bring. But yeah. So just some of the side effects, what you can expect, all that. So that was round one of chemo.